do your intro now or what? For a tarot card you do.
How do we do an intro?
Hello! Like that. You say hello.
Hello! Hello!
Is this on?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to today's tarot card reading.
Our edition.
Featuring Reina and Queen. Special guest Andreas on my channel today.
You're always trying to take over.
Andreas.
Thanks for letting me be here.
So what are we doing today?
Today, we're going to do a tarot reading with some cards I made, actually. I painted them. So, it'll be interesting.
Do you know how many cards there are?
There's 69.
Oh, interesting choice.
Yeah. There's a couple special cards. They're all special because they're all different. But they're all white cards. And then there's a few that are silver, a few that are black, and a few that I've signed.
I like it.
So I don't know what that means,
Diversity.
but we're going to find out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to shuffle? I think you should shuffle since it's your deck. So we're going to be doing a tarot spread for artists today. So even if you're not an artist, you can apply this to your own situation in your own life. But if you are an artist, then this can be very specifically geared towards different themes around art. So yeah, in your mind while you're shuffling, like set the intention of this spread being geared towards whoever's viewing this, artists or non-artists, that this will best apply to them and their highest good, like will receive this message for them to better understand where they're coming from and just anything that they should know, any messages that are meant for them at this time, anything that will be of guidance and support of them. And yeah, may their higher self assist in this reading, as well as all ascended masters who care to join this healing session. Well, it's not very healing, but I always say that, but it's, it's a tarot reading, but it could be healing. So, feel good?
I feel good.
So you're gonna pick, I believe, 5 cards, and you can pick however you want from the spread.
Okay.
And then you're pretty much. Do you want me to do that part, or do you want to do? You can do that part. It's just like that's the spread if you want to.
Okay.
Do it.
So
I'll help you. This will be number 5. Well, you'll do number 1.
Okay.
And then number 2. We'll use these crystals. And then it will be number 3. Number 4. And number 5.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 3, 4, 5. And then I have it on there too, so. It's fun to hold the microphone.
Yeah, it is. Dun, dun, dun. Number 1. Number 2. Ooh. Number 3. And number 4. Number 5. Oh my gosh. Ooh, these are cool.
That is pretty cool spread.
I like them.
So I'll help you a little bit so you can digest the cards.
Okay.
And take a look at them. You guys as well take a look and see anything that you see, anything that stands out in the cards, any feelings you get towards them, anything like that at all. So we'll begin. So the first card that we pulled, this purple guy, is what you put into your art.
What I put into my art. You know what's interesting is the first thing that stood out to me is all these guys are looking off to the right, and he's the only one looking off to the left. And he's the one black card. So he's an oddball.
Yep.
He's definitely swimming. He's a fish too, and he's swimming in the opposite direction.
Is the left brain the creative side? Or is that the right brain?
I think it is the left
I think
brain.
the left brain is the creative, right? I'm not. Let me see. Let me search that up really quick. But you can keep describing.
Yeah. And he is a fish, so that's cool. Because he's swimming in the wrong direction of the stream.
Oh.
I feel like is it the other
Left
way
brain
around?
is linear, logical, sequential, analytical, and objective.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Well, that's also interesting because, like, if these are all facing the right and he's the one facing the left, like the majority of them are on the right while he's the one left brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like what I'm getting from this, if from that specifically, is what you put into your art is very thought out. You very much are meticulously when you plan out what you're going to create. It's not just like, it's definitely an inspiration, a burst of inspiration, but you don't just like throw splatter paint. It's more very like technical the way you go about it. You might be into sketching before you create, or anything like that really plans out the foundation of what is going to become of your art.
That's cool. Yeah, planned out in its own
but
own
at
way.
the same time, it's very flowing, and it's not too fixed. Like, it can change at any point. Like a fish kind of just goes in its own path, but it's very watery, and it's very motiony. It's not stuck on a specific.
Yeah, it's not stable.
Yeah, it can. Yeah,
it can be all over the place.
Very flowy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
So number 2 is what your art says about how you see the world.
Whoa. How I see the world.
We got this green guy.
Yeah, he's like
it's kind of interesting. I kind of see he has like glasses to me. It looks like he has glasses on.
His eyes are definitely the main feature of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's really visual.
Mm-hmm.
Or he cares a lot about visuals.
Mm-hmm. Like, the things really stand out and pop out to him. Yeah. Textures, colors, like different patterns, like all of that really stands out. Different color vibrances and everything like that.
And he's also like coming out of the ground. He's this weird snake serpent where I feel like he's on this one point, but he can like look around in all different perspectives. Like, he has this big eyes where he can like turn his head in any way he wants to see it.
And it almost looks like he can grow as tall or short as he wants. Like, he can get down with the ants, but also go up to like the skyscrapers. Like, there's no limit in what he sees or what, it's very like open.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And he is also a silver card too. He's shiny.
Interesting. So you want to move on to third one?
Yeah.
So number 3 is, what inspires your best work?
Is that this one or this one?
This one.
Okay. Whoa.
This guy's crazy.
This guy is weird. He's very
I don't even know. I feel like he's like
unique.
What is it called when it's like an animal that's multiple animals? What is that called?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I see, like a horse and an elephant and some weird
got like a duck head too,
tentacle thing, and like weird ears that don't match. Like, he's like a I don't know what that's called. I forgot.
Yeah. He's a weird being. Like a sentient being. I don't know what it's called.
Well, if you guys know, that's what I'm talking about.
That's interesting.
What inspires your best work? I think it's a multitude of things. I don't think it's like where you can label. Yeah, it's like a various amount of things in your life.
It's different things coming together.
Yeah.
In this one creature.
Yeah, like your emotions, your people around you, the food you eat, the things you watch, the things you listen to, the things you hate, the things you love. It's a huge combination of what inspires your best work. It's when you really like take all of it in together and create from that space, whether it's just like one specific feeling and you create, like, your best work is when all of it is incorporative somehow. Even and this could be like you don't have no idea, like it's not something that you probably think about, like, oh, I'm gonna put all this together to create, like it could be totally just coming from like a space of not knowing what you're gonna create, but like that's the inspiration behind it that you're not even aware of. It's all of it together, like your whole week combined, everything you felt and everything that you experienced in that week came out in this piece, or month or year or whatever the hell. Yeah.
This creature seems the most like random and like I couldn't define him. Like all the other creatures, I could kind of give you a definition of what they are, but he's just so out there.
And he's abstract. Like different creatures into one.
Yeah. That's cool.
So the number 4 is what your art inspires in others.
Well, this guy, it's clearly a face. It's just a head. And it's human-like in a weird way. But it's also so very much not a human.
He's giving me like genie spirit like vibes. What I'm getting from this guy, so you said he was like human but not, like, I feel like this is the aspect of yourself that is more hidden away from like what other people see. It's more of like your shadow side. Like it's what you are, but don't express to others as much, or it's more hidden. It's the part of you that's more hidden, just because he's dark and he looks like a person, but he looks like I don't know, like almost like a ghost or something, like how he's so flowy in the body, like I don't know, like it's like a shadow. To me it's like a shadow, but it's a human shadow, so it's like that part inside you that you don't really show to everybody. So what your art inspires in others?
Because he does look like very ghost-like. Like we see him morphing in front of our eyes. Like he's not stable. He's not stagnant. But it is interesting because he's very dark, but he has the bright neon contours all around him. So I don't know. It's like this darkness behind him, because when you look at it and you see what he is, he's the like bright line,
always spitting that explosive fire.
Gingerbread cookies. Make sure you eat your box of gingerbread cookies this Valentine's Day if you want to stay in shape. Brought to you by Hydro Flask at AndreasTalksArt.com. Now go online for our promotional code. We'll be back very shortly after this quick message. Avocados are really good for you. They're ripe, they're green, they have a big huge seed. Smash them in your toast or have them in your oatmeal. There's no wrong way to have avocado. Just make sure you don't eat it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Never eat avocado. It's very bad for you. Now, a quick message from our sponsors. Have you ever wondered how you get out of the toilet without ripping your butt cheeks? I've never thought about that either. Well, don't worry about it. You never have to use the bathroom again with this amazing product, Poopatool.com. If you go to Poopatool.com, you get 25% off with promotional code AndreasTalksArt. Now back to our tarot card reading.
Okay, that was interesting.
What your art inspires in others.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of the shadow that's behind everyone, the shadow that's following them or behind them. And it also shows them the color that contains the shadow.
Yeah, I agree. I think your art inspires. I think it really brings about this feeling in others of like connecting to that part that they most often disassociate with or aren't fully expressive of. Like they themselves know that it's there, and when they see your artwork, it makes that part of them want to come out and express it a little bit more, or be a little bit more open and honest about that, because through your art they see it in a completely different perspective, and it's no longer like a burden or something they need to hide, but they see how it is part of them and how it is them, and it's just the truth, and there's nothing wrong about the truth. It just is what it is. So I think that really, that your art inspires that in other people, is like, huh, that's interesting to see it that way. I'm kind of like that too in some way. I have no idea what kind of art you make, but that's kind of what I'm getting from that card.
Yeah, I like that. That's very cool.
So number 5.
Oh, I like this card a lot.
Me too. I really like that one. So this is a message from your muse.
My muse?
Mm-hmm.
Can we go back to the definition of a muse?
So there's 2 definitions for a muse. Where is
it's a message for my muse.
From your muse.
From my muse. Oh,
yeah.
My muse's message to me.
Yeah.
What are you telling me, muse?
So the muse is, so in Greek and Roman mythology, each of 9 goddesses, the daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne, who preside over the arts and sciences. And then the second definition is a person or personified force who is a source of an inspiration for a creative artist. So basically the source of your inspiration. So this is a message from the source of your inspiration.
Wow.
Put shortly.
Interesting. There's a lot of interesting things about this guy.
Yeah.
The one thing when I was making him that was very interesting was how all these fractals formed. And how fractals are like the basis of life, and everything is a fractal. And they were very accidental. I was not trying to do that. The paint just did that on its own. But his whole being is made up of fractals.
That really connects with me for the first card, because how you would be a little bit more logical about your art. The fractals to me represents like, so yeah, for me the fractals would represent how your art is kind of like accidentally, logically, like thought out or depicted. Like it's like fractals have a science to them. They're organized in a specific way with like a pattern, and it all comes down to like the cell level of it. And so I feel like your art is in that way. Like your muse's message to you is kind of like that, like in telling you to continue to be inspired by like the understanding and meaning of everything that you go through your art about. Like the way that you see it is a perfect way to be seeing it. It's completely like unique to you, how you see it that way, and then it comes out through your art.
Right. And everything that comes from it is a part of it, so it's meant to be. All the mistakes and the masterpieces and everything along the way all adds into it. All lines back to the beginning, which like comes out to the whole being. Because there's like one little point and the fractal keeps breaking off and breaking off.
And these are swords, right?
Yeah, he's holding 2 swords.
Wow. That's, to me, I get the message of being very sharp. Very sharp, very strong. Like, what's, like, this is, to me, this is a dinosaur with knives. Or with swords. So, like, dinosaurs for me are very, what's the word? Not tough, but fearless. Yeah, fearless. Especially holding 2 swords. They keep calling knives. Especially holding 2 swords. It's like, goddamn, you do not want to fuck with that dinosaur. Like the dinosaur itself can already fuck you up.
Because he doesn't even need the swords. Yeah.
They're like weapons, exactly. So I mean,
And he's ancient.
Exactly.
Ancient. Yeah.
So, a message from your muse.
That
I
all
think,
sounds very beautiful.
yeah, it is. I think the message for you from your inspiration is, like, don't be afraid to go as edgy and, like, don't hold back on that aspect of your art if you've ever done that before, like, or maybe you don't, but, like, the message for me for you is, like, don't be afraid to hold back on that about how sharp or to the point or strong you might present your art, because that is what makes it amazing. Yeah, don't hold back on that. Let it be as raw and as chaotic as it can be.
Yeah. That's awesome. I keep seeing more in this guy, because another thing that's interesting,
Yeah.
all the what?
No, you.
Is that he has these two swords, and the one big sword he's holding up to his body is all created with the color from his body, like it's a part of him. Whereas this other one, it's its own thing. It's not, there's no color to it. So it's like it was just created out of nothing. Like he either just created it or manifested it or whatever, but it wasn't a thing, because like the color is what makes everything a thing in these beings, it seems like. Whereas that one other sword he was able to just make it without any color or anything backing it behind it. Like there doesn't always need to be something behind it. It can just be.
I was gonna say, his eyes are red. So
What's that mean?
for me, that you might be into like smoking pot when you do art, getting high or anything like that, or just being under the influence of anything.
He does look stoned.
That might be something that is part of what inspires your art. That inspire what a message from your muse is. Like if you do that, that's helping you create art in some way, in this certain aspect of everything else we talked about. So yeah, because he looks like he goes into like a whole different state of mind when he's creating.
Are you trying to get me to smoke again?
Are you applying this to yourself?
Maybe. Yeah, I have been this whole time.
You have?
Yeah.
Has it been resonating?
It definitely has. It very much so has.
That's cool. I didn't do that I didn't do that for me. That's super cool. So any other messages or any other things that you're gathering from all of these cards?
You know, another thing I just did see is this guy, how I said in the beginning, he was looking the other way, and he stands out. But then these four all are very much in the same color scheme.
I was just going to say that.
Is very, very out there. He's all on his own. That's interesting how these two, the first and the last, they, like these three all fit together, and they have their own way to relate to those two. But they kind of contain them all. But
yeah, I was just gonna say, I was noticing that there's a lot of pink being depicted.
And blue.
Yeah, and when I think of pink, I think of rose quartz crystals. Got a little rose quartz here.
Yeah.
And the rose quartz is really, really good for the heart chakra. So I connect the rose quartz to the heart, which I connect the heart to love. And so from what I'm getting is, you create art because you love it. It's something that is, it fuels your, I don't even want to say inspiration. It fuels your purpose of
your
being.
Passion.
Yeah, like art creating is what is fueling like the purpose of life for you. It's what's bringing you that connection to your heart. To love and to see life from that perspective of love, because you're able to create, and this brings you joy and happiness, and it connects you to your heart. So when you're creating art, you're connecting to your heart chakra, and you're just opening that up and allowing all of this to be flooded into your art as well. And other people can feel that in your art when they see it. They can feel that, even if you create things that might be really strange, or might be like edgy, or not necessarily looking like loving or anything. Like even if you create someone like getting murdered or something, which is very like opposite of love, right? Someone can still see that and connect like love in that way somehow, not even if it's necessarily like, oh, that shows love, but they can see how that is to them and then apply it in like a different way. Like I don't know how to describe that exactly, but like I don't know, like they could just be like, wow, like that makes them feel like sad or something, but then at the same time like it reminds them like why they like to be nice to people, or why they like to spread love and kindness in the world, because there's other things that exist. And I don't know, just something like that. It was a huge rant, but like that's what I got from the pink, was like you definitely connect to like your heart when you create.
That's awesome. And that's very cool, because colors are such an important part of art.
Yeah, and there's a lot of blue as well. It's like teal.
Yeah, and the pink and the blue makes purple.
Which purple is the crown chakra. We got purple here, like amethyst. Is that the crown? Yeah, it's the crown. No. Yes. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Well, when I think of purple, we have so much purple in this table too. We have so much amethyst. Purple to me, it like connects you to your psychic side. So it connects you to like the higher realms of connecting to like angels and spirits and like all of these other things that are not so earthly based. You connect to more of the spirit realm. So your art might be like, when you're creating art, you're opening like your crown chakra, and so you're getting messages and downloads from like beyond the plane of 3D, and that is incorporated in your art as well. Like this tapestry here, it totally is going into another world and another portal, another dimension, and you have many signs of that in this. So like just like your art, whoever is watching this, you might have something similar. Like even if it's not exactly like a window or a door, like there's some aspect in your art that is showing people like the other side of life.
Yeah.
That's not just always physical.
I mean, I think no matter what you create, you're creating another dimension, because it's something new that wasn't there before.
Definitely. Yeah. Wow.
That's awesome.
This was an awesome reading. Oh my god, this was so much fun.
Yeah, this was.
I hope that you guys enjoyed this.
Yeah, maybe something resonated with you.
Yeah, leave a comment if anything resonated with you, if you hated it, if you loved it, anything that you thought about it. This was so much fun, and if you like this and want Andreas to do more, definitely let him know, because he has 69 cards.
And Reina would love to do some more.
And I would love to do some more. So yeah.